Already know me, I'm Gabriel, and I'm going to talk about Ross Lovegrove. I'm going to start this presentation talking about his main inspiration, then I'm going to talk about his whole career, his main achievements and where he started. Also, then I'll move forward to talk about his most important designs, his main accomplishments, and I'll finish down talking about what are his main characteristics, the Lovegrove style. This one is completely crazy actually. The designs are very eye-catching. Well, I saw a TED Talk of Ross Lovegrove, which has a curious fact. I choose because his name is Ross and he reminded me of a character of Friends. And I thought, hey, he might be a cool guy, and I chose him. Well, he was a cool guy. He told in this TED Talk that he likes to think about design like this, DNA, design, nature, art. Those are three elements that he thinks that need to be working together to create something important. Also, he shows us this, that observation, curiosity, and instinct can create amazing art. That's what he thinks that art means to the world ever since art was first made. And he says that industrial design is modern art. He said this quote, which is, "I'm interested in natural raw patterns and the beautiful forms that only nature really creates." That's his office. You can see that very interesting staircase. He made it because it remembered him the DNA structure. It cost $280,000. It was really expensive. Most people want to buy a car with that money. Well, he made a staircase, and it's a pretty awesome staircase because of what it represents to him. It's his whole inspiration. Before we talk about his style, let's talk about where he started. He was born in Cardiff, Wales, near the UK, in 1958, and studied industrial design in Manchester, in the Manchester Polytechnic in 1980. He grew in a small town that didn't care about design or spaces or things like that. But he identified himself as someone who was weird, who was different, and always cared about his stuff. He wanted to be a chef, yeah, as a fact. But he studied gastronomy for like 6 years. He added weed to everything he cooked, and then chose the path of design. Well, he mastered, he got a master's degree in design in Royal College of Art in London, 3 years after he graduated from college. Later, he got a job in frog design. He started his career working for frog design, helping with several designs for some products like the Sony's Walkman and some cases for Apple computers, the outside of the design. Well, this was in the late 80s, so the designs were still very square and not as organic as the style he used today. But, well, those were his beginnings. Later he moved to Knoll, a design studio it works creating spaces for workplaces or homes, and he created the bestseller Alessandri office system, which was an office system used by many companies that bought it. Later on, he moved to the Atelier de Nîmes. It's a workshop in Paris, in which he worked as a consultant for many designers. He worked on Jean Nouvel and Philippe Starck, other very important designers of France, and consulted for Catural, which was a perfume company, Louis Vuitton, we all know Louis Vuitton and his fashion bags, Hermes, which also makes fashion accessories, and DuPont. There are many agencies that are called DuPont, and I didn't know which the biography was referring to. Every site where I searched it only said DuPont and didn't specify, so I don't know what DuPont it refers to, but it's a design. So, by 1990, Ross Lovegrove opened his own design studio called Studio X. Now he has another studio called Studio Lovegrove Design Studio, and well, by the 90s he completed a whole collection of works for many companies like Peugeot, Motorola, Apple, some airlines, the Omega that are electric bikes, Japan Airlines, Lufthansa, which are very fancy lamps for the house, things like that. He made a very funny quote. He said that he never completed a job that a client asked him. He always finished making what he wanted, but the clients liked it anyway. It's like his style. He's a rebel of design. Now his work is being published all over the world. When it starts getting some, when his work was start being noticed worldwide, it's starting some small, I lost the word, expositions in some companies and industries and temporal expositions in museums. But now he has permanent expositions in MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art in New York, also in the Design Museum in London, and in the Vitra Design Museum in Plain, Germany. Those are three museums in which he has permanent expositions, but there are more. Now let's talk about his designs. That's a table. As I said, that guy's crazy. That table is one piece of, I don't know what kind of material is it, like metal or something. And the legs of the table, it's upside down. The legs of the table are actual holes, and it's all made of one single piece. It's really strange, but that's not the design I'm going to talk about. I want to make an emphasis on the design. It's a chair called Go. It was made in 1988, and it cost only $1.7 million to develop. It had a recognition in Time magazine. It was called the definition of the 21st century language. It's made of magnesium, and it's very, very interesting. You can see each of the pieces of the table of the chair as an individual piece of art. That's what he called it. That you can have one leg on your office and say it's a very valuable piece of art, but it's also a complete chair. He presented it as a bone structure, as we can see in this picture, but now we assemble it and make a complete chair, like that. Reviews say it's very comfortable. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it, but well, people say it's comfortable. Now this is another interesting design. He made a car for Renault called Twins or Twin Z or whatever you want to call it. It's a very weird looking car, and we start seeing how he sees design with these examples. It was only a concept car, it's not on sale, but it shows how he sees the world as something in movement, something organic, and as something that needs to be in constant connection with